Today is a hot one. It's a scorcher. It's supposed to be about 95. What I'm going to be doing today is installing a misting unit inside the chicken tractor that hopefully will mist the inside there without wetting it, kind of like what the NFL football players use in the summertime, the early fall, to keep themselves cool. You might have seen those misting units that are hooked up to fans. This one will not be hooked up to a fan. It will just be a straight line mister hooked up to a garden hose. And I also will be tapping in a live watering system so that I can have chicken watering nipples installed in the side of the chicken tractor along the top ridge here, along that ridge of where the hardware cloth stops right before it gets to the rafters. And it will be replacing, actually I'll just probably keep both those and the water in there just to be safe because of this hot weather. I don't have the chicken nipples yet, but I'm going to just go ahead and set the whole unit up. And so I'm going to go inside, make a couple more cuts on my misting unit, and I'll bring it back out and let you see what it looks like. Alright, Scott, and I'm back in the afternoon here. I finally got this thing together. I've been putting it together for a couple of days. This is my chicken misting system. Now right now I don't have the timer set up to it. I'm actually just testing it today. I'll just leave it on for a few hours, come back and test it. You can see the garden hose runs underneath the electric fence. It's all insulated, so we don't have to worry about anybody getting shocked. As long as it's off, that is. Or I'm sorry, even if it's on, because it's rubber. So the hose is rubber and it's an insulator. And it goes up to the back of the chicken coop. Let me just get in here closely. Frank's happy. He's got some cool weather in there for a change. So what I did is made a little S here, and I just put in one screw so I can pop this in and out. Like if I want to move the chicken tractor, we just pop this out, unscrew this, and move it. I hear you, Frank. So it's got a shut off on the outside. It's got the water that runs in. There's a little filter right about here. Yeah, it's actually right here on the inlet. Get some major particles. And so we'll walk inside. So you remember there was actually two shut-offs. One to shut off at the hose so I can disconnect it, and then one to shut off the actual unit itself. And here's the mister in action. They're just getting used to it now. And so they're kind of shaking and still worried about what that noise is up there. Okay, Frank, we hear you, we hear you. They're actually a lot cooler now. I could feel it. It's a lot cooler. It's only been on for about 10 minutes. But I've got a set of 6. I only put 4 of them in here. A set of 6 misters, and you can see how the mist is just barely coming out of there. The kind that you get at the, like on a garden hose, the traditional quote-unquote mist setting, it's just too wet. Over time, you know, this is going to get wet, but if they lay down, I just had the water on full blast too. That's why this rail is wet. At the end of this thing, I have a shut off so I can clean it out. So before I charge the unit with the garden hose closed on this end, I wanted to shoot out any remaining little particles, because these misters, these little mist nozzles are really tiny. Let's see if I can get in there without. So they're shooting out just a very, very fine mist, and it does go all the way down to the ground. You really can't see it in this light, but it will just barely mist them instead of soaking them. And I do keep the door open. Now this won't be on all night. This will be on during the hot part of the day, and I'll come out and turn it off at night in the evening. But you know, if they get too cool in here, because it is a lot cooler, it feels probably 10 or 15 degrees cooler in here than it did just a few minutes ago, because that mist is raising the humidity up in here, which doesn't really make sense. You'd think with higher humidity that it would actually make it worse, but it just helps the body evaporate more moisture. So there's the system. Pretty simple design, just PVC. I got another shut off in the center there, if you can see that blue handle. And you can see that nub that's sticking out, that's going towards my left. Now that nub is going to eventually aim down the siding here, the framing, and it's going to U back towards me, or L back towards me I should say, and it's going to follow along that bottom corner of the rail, and it's going to have nozzles on it where they can drink water. So I've got, this system is a two for one, killed two chickens with one stone. It's a chicken mister to keep them cooler in the summertime. Now I can shut it off, the misting part, and only have it supply water, fresh water to the chickens by turning that blue dial up there. If I shut that off, it turns the mister off, but it'll leave the bottom water on as when I get it hooked up. Alright, so I just wanted to show you what the chicken mister looks like. They're all still getting used to it, but I can tell already they're going to like it because it's going to be a lot cooler. It's about 98 degrees right now, and they've been panting, and you can see some of them have their mouths open right now, and their wings were out earlier. So they're not as, it doesn't look like they're as hot right now because they've been in that mist for a little while. Frank's got his mouth open, so they're panting. And it's pretty hot. I'm standing here just sweating. The wind is helping out a little bit. I can feel that mist. Actually, I can feel the temperature mist coming through here. Temperature differential, just by coming through this screen here. And maybe they'll wind up out here during the daytime. Maybe it's just a little bit too wet inside for them. I'm not sure, but they won't get dripping wet in there. Like I said, the one reason it was dripping wet earlier is because I had that red line open to flush it out before I turned it on, and so it's working real well. All right, that's what I just wanted to show you my project for today. I'm going to zoom in as I close out here so you can see all the way down how it works.